is Miss Thrasher. I hope you are all having a wonderful week. It's only Tuesday though, so we are going to dive right into lesson 17, keeping in our brains all the things we've learned so far from both my videos and Miss Miller's videos. All right, if you're ready, I want you to give me a big thumbs up. Awesome. All right, so I remember we've been working a lot with counting by tens and also remembering that when we count up, each number is how many more? On my snap, how many more? One more. Each time we count up, our number gets bigger by one. You guys are rock stars. Today's lesson is going to be so easy. You guys are super smart. But first we're going to get started with a little bit of fluency to make sure that your counting is staying perfect. So first I remember we had the big Reckon Ruck. This one, oh, it's so heavy. So today when we're practicing, we're just going to be looking at our little Reckon Ruck. And I know that this has, how many on the top? How many in this group right here? Think for me. 10. Now, looking at this, what's the fastest way you knew that this up here was 10? Think about the red and the white. What do you notice? How many red ones do we have? Yep. How many red ones? 5. And how many white ones? 5. Now, you know that 5 and 5 make what? My favorite number, 10. Awesome. So we have, this is 1 10. Remember the say 10 way. This is one group of 10. So we have 1 10, and then we have 2 10. Awesome job. So I want us to make sure that we're remembering how we count that say 10 way. We have 1 10, and then we have 2 10. Awesome. Now, if I just move this many over, how many is this? 10. Perfect. Now I want you thinking that we count with tens because it helps us get to bigger numbers even faster. Now, how would I say this, the say 10 way? Just looking at what I have over here. We have 10, 1, 10, 1. What is 10, 1 the regular way? What number is 10, 1? Think about those hide 0 cards. 10, 1, 11. Awesome job. Now what about 10, 2 is what number? 12. So quick, you don't need to count it again. 10, 3, 13. How about, I'm going to skip some. 10, 6, 16. How about 10, 9, 19. And now we have 1 10, 2 10. 2 10 is the number 20. And we're remembering how we use the say 10 way to help us count really fast. Awesome. Miss Sasha dropped her phone. So really quick, switching over to my camera, we're going to count. We're actually not going to switch over to my camera. I am so silly. We are going to count by tens because today in our lesson, we need to know that when we get finished counting in the 20s or counting in the 30s, we need to know what number comes next. And we know that each number is how many more? 1 more. So in order to practice that, we're going to count by tens, okay? And let's see if we can get really fast. All right, everyone count with me. 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, what's next? 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. Awesome. When we use my favorite number 10, we get to 100 really quickly. Now I'm going to make sure, I'm going to put these on my board and go all the way up. So we have 10, 20, 30, count with me, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, and 100. Perfect. So we know that we can count all the way up to 100 using our tens. Now, when we go in today's lesson, we need to be thinking, when we're done with 20 and we get all the way to 29, we need to remember what decade is another word for 10, what decade comes next. So when we're done with 20, what decade is going to come next? 30. After 30, what decade comes next? 40. We're only going to go to 40 today so we can really get strong in our brains with what happens when we need to go to the next decade. Awesome. So we're going to be looking at my camera and thinking about what comes next when we finish in one decade. Perfect. And I'm going to move us over here so you guys can see our numbers. But first we're going to go to the camera. Perfect. Now we need to remember, I know you guys still see my lollipop. I just haven't eaten it yet. I think I'm saving it. So when we have this right here, how many dots is this? Quick, on my snap. 10. Now if we have another 10, how many is this? 20. Perfect. So just quick practice. So we're going to start with the number 10. Now, what if I want to add some dimes, and I'm just going to give you the number. If we have 10, 5, what is that? 15, 16, 17, 18. Now we have 18. Now I want to go all the way past 20. So we have 18. Let's keep counting up. 19, 20. We have another group of 10. So after 19, what decade do we move to by looking at our cards? After we're in the decade of 10, we move up into 20. So once we were at 19, now we're moving to 20. We have to remember the decade that comes next. Each time we add one more, our number is getting bigger. So we have 19, and then we got to 20. Now we are in 20. If we have 20, what is 20 the say 10 way? How many tens? 2 tens. So now instead of my dimes, now we have 20. Now if we go, let's count together. That's after 20. 21. Remember, each time we count up, our number is getting bigger by 1. 21. Count with me. 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. After 29, we need to be thinking about what decade comes next. What decade comes next? 10, 20. Think 1, 2. How many tens? 3 tens. Now we are going to go into 30. 10, 20, 30. And I remember over here we had 29. After 29, we move into 30. Think about 30 the say 10 way. 30, we have 3, 10. So I can show this 3, 10. 1, 10, 2, 10, 3, 10 is the number 30. Now I want to keep going, and I want to think what decade is going to come after 30. But first, we have to count from 30 up. So let's keep going. 31, 32, 33. Now, I can even think of 33 the say 10 way. How many tens do we have here? 3. 1 10, 2 10, 3 tens. So we have 3 tens and how many extra ones? 3. 3 tens, 3. And I know that 3 tens is the number 30. So we have 3, 10, 3, 33. Let's keep going. 34. Think about what decade's going to come next. 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. Now 40, the say 10 way, is 410. So I can move my dimes and give us another 10. Awesome job. Now let's see, what is this number, the say 10 way? 110, count with me, 210, 310, 410. 40, the say 10 way, is 4 tens. Now we need to remember each time we count up, what decade comes next. So we started with 10, 20, and then our decade of, now thinking can help you because we always count up 1, 2, so thinking of the next decade, 10, 20, we need that 3, 30, and then after 30, we go into 40. So remembering each time, it's really important to remember which decade comes next, and that's why counting by tens really helps us when we are learning to count to 100. So if we look, I'm gonna pull up this big record rack. If we look, how many tens is this? 110, 210. Now, how about if I have 210, 7? Now, really quick, we know that 210 is 20. 210, 7, 27. I want to keep counting. Count with me. 27, 28, 29. Now thinking we need to move into the next decade. We get to 29. What decade is going to come next? Looking at my chart, what decade will come next? 29, 30. Now 30 we know is 310. Let's check our work and make sure we have 310. 110, 210, 310. You guys are going to be able to count to 100 so fast. We just have to remember when we're counting up what decade comes next. Now real quick, I want to show you your exit ticket that you're going to be working on today. And also there's so many videos on YouTube, and I will post another counting video so that you guys can practice on your own, counting by tens and counting by ones all the way up to 100. So you can be a super mathematician. So let me show you your work for today. It is going to look a little bit like yesterday's work where you're filling in the number. And if we, sorry friends. And if we go to my camera, we can see that you're going to be filling in the numbers. So here, if we're at 17, we have to remember the next number is one more, 18, 19, and then you have to remember what decade comes next. After 19, we move into how many tens? 110, 210, 19, next number is 20. Awesome, so we have to remember how we're counting when we're moving into the next decade. Now, this looks a little tricky, but on this page, there are some mistakes. So I'm going to do the first one, and it's going to be your job. When you get to the number that's not right, you have to go and cross it out. Just like up here, they saw 1, 2, 9. That's not right. What comes after 2? 1, 2, 3. Right. So when you get to that wrong number, you go and you write the correct one. So next we have, let's try this one. 20, count with me. We're going up. 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 29. I remember from yesterday, after 25, we need to go into 26. So I would go and write 26. You have to fix what's wrong. Awesome job today, scholars. I hope when you're working, you're learning to count by tens and really, really being awesome counting mathematicians. See you guys soon. Bye. Great work, kiddos.